with us now is Colin Smith. And I'm just going to read off this card a little bit because he's got quite the background. So, Colin, you were born and raised in Dublin. You sang with Christina Aguilera. You are you work with Alicia Keys and Swiss Beats and all of these amazing people. But you also have your own music. Ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, Colin Smith.
Hey.
Hi, Colin.
Hi, Donna. How's it going? Thanks very much for having me.
Yeah, so a friend of mine who works with us, Amanda, she says, she goes, I know this great guy, Colin Smith. I said, great, invite him on. So tell us about your journey so far. So Dublin, I mean, we're taping this and it's just days before St. Patrick's Day. So happy St. Patrick's Day to you.
Thank you very much. Yes, well, it's a lot. How to compress? Let me see. Like I'll just squeeze this all in. Yeah, born to a very musical family. My parents were both singers, met singing, and gave birth to a bunch of singers. I'm the youngest of which, and yeah. So when I was a kid, I was in a band with my cousins and stuff, and we moved to Italy. We were like a band in Italy for a few years. So I lived in northern Italy for about like 4 or 5 years, and we cut our teeth there, and then from there we came to the States, got signed, toured around, opened for the likes of like The Who and Van Halen and Sheryl Crow and all these like cool experiences. We made a few records, and then I started to make solo records. And on that journey, I played in a club down here in New York called the Village Underground, where everybody used to pass through, like from like Prince to John Mayer and all these amazing Wyclef Jean and all these people used to come through, and my musical experience expanded even more. And around that time, I came across like Swiss Beats, and I ended up playing on a bunch of like Alicia Keys's concerts and stuff like that. And it's been a wild ride. And yeah, and with that, I ended up duetting with Christina Aguilera for about 5 years on that song, like Say Something, and then singing backing with her. So there you go. There's like that's a rush through the credits.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, did you know when you were like a little kid that this was going to be your journey? Like, are you intuitive at all? Do you see things, Colin, and then just act on it? How does the musical knowledge talk to your spirit?
That's a great question. I am very intuitive, and in fact, if I were to have a little more balance in my life, let's say, how would we like to kind of like shape ourselves as we go forward? I'd love to balance out that intuitiveness with a bit more kind of to be less improvised and more kind of like structured and planned. I always envied people that were always answering that question of like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I'm like, okay.
Where do I see myself in 5 minutes?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so it speaks very fluidly to me, it's a blessing, I'm very grateful for it. But yeah, no, I wouldn't have seen, even as a kid, I wouldn't have seen that this is how it played out. But I was just born, passionately connected to music, and, yeah, I was always going to have some sort of life with it, and it's just the way it is.
Runs through your veins, right?
It really does. Yeah.
Some of us in the creative industry, I think the most glorious thing is being able to live that life, to embrace it. So many times people say, "Oh, I don't know. I want to do this, I want to do that," but you're doing it, so that's exciting. And what's on the horizon for you right now? What's next that you want to celebrate?
So I put out a single there at the end of January. I think that's the clip that you guys are going to show. I have another single that's coming up soon. I might as well announce the name of it here today. It's called The Tree, and it's my favorite work that I've done in a long time. It's a song that means an incredible amount to me, but we'll see. And it's going to be a duet.
Okay.
And so I have a few more things, like a few more singles and stuff coming out this year. But also this Friday, there's a movie called City of Lies that's coming out. Stars Johnny Depp and Forrest Whitaker. And it's about the investigation into the murder of Notorious B.I.G. and I have a good few songs in. I have a few songs in that, and I kind of sing on the soundtrack. So there you go. That's what's
I
in
met
the
Forrest
music.
when I was a little girl. He was in a
I
movie
oh wow.
out in Kansas City, Missouri, and my parents took me on vacation there. And that was one of the celebrities that I got to meet. I got to
Very.
meet Sam Elliott that day and a few people. So
Oh,
it's interesting
cool.
that you are now working on, something with
Yeah.
him. Life comes full
Yeah.
circle. Wow.
I've never had the pleasure, but yeah, that's nice.
So I'm excited. We are going to take a listen to your music. I could talk to you for
Okay.
like a long time.
Me
This
too.
is fun. So
Me too.
please, will you come back? I would love to have you back.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
now you set up the tree, which you announced here, but you didn't tell us what it's about. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what it's about, and then we'll go play the other song? Just a
Um,
little, just a little, just a little bit.
Sure.
Okay.
The tree is about it's kind of in thematically consistent with the song that you're going to play, except it's a little bit further down the line, and it has more to do. It's kind of like a finer look at how natural we are to ourselves and kind of just accepting where we are. It's basically about that.
I like that. And the song that we're about to hear
Is it ever now?
Is It Ever Now?
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
Right? It's like when you put your foot on the gas pedal, it's like when. It's like that's when the acceleration happens. And you're kind of waiting for that moment. It's like the moment where dew hits the flower petal. That's the now, right? And is it ever now? So I'm excited. Let's take a
Yeah.
look.
I'll always want to find. Is it